Walter, you're very welcome back to part 2 of the programme as we continue with the celebrations here to mark the 25th silver anniversary of the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation.
So we see both malignant and non-malignant patients in the community. So it's a community-based role, and on the team there's 1 clerical officer, 9 clinical nurse specialists, 1 staff nurse and 1 social worker. And it's a consultant-led service. Our consultant is based in Galway and comes down to us in the community for a half a day each week, every Wednesday evening, where we sit around and we discuss all the clients that are under our care at the NDT meeting. Yeah.
And then you decide then which of those people need your service.
Need your service. So we would receive referrals into the office where I'm based. Myself and the clerical officer are based there.
In Castlebar.
In Castlebar, from 9:10 to 5:30, Monday to Friday. The service continues through the weekend where there's 2 clinical nurse specialists on duty, both Saturday and Sunday. So we're a 7-day service. The referrals will come in from the GPs. The GP is always the primary care in the community. So the referrals would be the GP to our consultant or consultant to consultant. And the referrals that come into us, they're triaged straight away, immediately. So we decide how quickly that patient needs to be seen. Yes, so we have 10 clinical nurse specialists, as I was saying. So it's a huge county, very, very vast. So we're covering the whole of the Erris Peninsula as well. So there can be huge distance between patients. But we're managing it well. We don't have any backlog. Patients are seen quickly within the triage time. So we have no backlog. So it's working very well. Yes. So we provide symptom control to patients, or we provide end-of-life care. We provide both. But when we would go out initially, we would do an assessment of the patient. And it's not just the patient alone, it's the patient and their family. And we bring them through their disease trajectory with support. Because our numbers are rising, we have to this date, I was just looking over our numbers, we have 490 referred since the 1st of October last year. So that's 490 new patients.
Just in the county of Mayo?
In the county of Mayo, yeah. 490 new patients that have come on our books. And it's divided quite evenly. I think there's something like, it's nearly half and half, male and female, and we're now seeing non-malignant patients as well. So we have about 2/3 cancer patients and 1/3 non-malignant patients. So because of that, because the service is growing and referrals are coming in a lot more often, we're discharging patients, and that's a thing I suppose we never did in palliative care before, but we're now having to discharge. So in the last year as well, we have discharged, it was 132 discharges from October, the 1st of October last year, to this present date. So when someone is well controlled and is not symptomatic, we would stand out of their care and we can become re-involved again, at their GP's discretion. It is a difficult job. And I suppose the difficulty in it is trying to help the patient control the symptoms and trying to help the family in that very, very vulnerable, upsetting time. But I suppose we regard it as our privilege to be invited into patients' homes during that time, because it is the toughest time, for a family. But we would regard that as a privilege, yeah. The amount of referrals are increasing, and as I said, that's why our discharges are also increasing. But because of our ageing population, it's going to get busy. So that's why it's absolutely fantastic that the hospice has been built, because that's going to help us out, hugely. And we rely on Mayo Roscommon Hospice for funding. We rely hugely on them. We have 4 hospice care workers on our team as well, which are completely funded by Mayo Roscommon Hospice. They would go out and they would help families out. They would sit with them and they would provide care for the loved ones in a home, up to 8 hours per patient. We're coping well. Yeah, our numbers we're fairly well controlled in Mayo in that there is no waiting list at present. But it is going to require a huge increase in staffing levels with the ageing population and with the non-malignant patients.
I got invited to join Mayo Roscommon Hospice by a gentleman called John Tully. He's a pharmacist like myself from Roscommon, and he has been involved in hospice for over 2 decades. Very passionate about it. So I was very honoured to be asked, and he asked me to come along the board. Yeah. So that was about 6 or 7 years ago now.
So you're chairperson now of the organisation.
I am.
What does that entail?
The chairperson role, I have to say, from stepping up from being on a board member, is quite a lot more involved. I would have very regular meetings with Martina. So it's overseeing the whole running of the organisation. Martina does the day-to-day, but we would meet as a board once a month, and we would look at where we're going and what our plans are and how we're getting there. So.
And what's your toughest challenge as chairperson?
To be fair, this is a fantastic job, partly because Martina makes it so. She comes with such energy and drive. We get on well, and we talk about where we're going, and we seem to have a common vision. So I suppose there's energy in trying to find enough time. There's so many fantastic support groups out there, and we'd love to meet them all, but I suppose trying to fit it all into a working week, because I'm busy working too, can be difficult. The other big thing that's striking us at the moment is building our hospices. Anybody who's built a house, you know how hard it is, but this is a big undertaking. So that's a lot of challenges in that at the moment.
Yeah. And we spoke to Monica about the whole fundraising aspect of it. It's a major project for the Hospice Foundation, isn't it? 10 million for Mayo, 5 million unit for.
It's massive, and it's only the 2 counties of Mayo and Roscommon, these 2 little counties, but I have to say we're regularly blown away by how much people are behind us. It's one of the things we're saying. It is a job that takes a lot of energy, but you get so much energy from people and what people put into hospice, and we're just kind of steering this ship that is really the groundswell of the people of Mayo and Roscommon. I
would imagine a lot of people are surprised that you get no state funding whatsoever.
Absolutely none. It is kind of It possibly isn't correct that the state should be funding this. This is the people of the state. But it was about 25 years ago that a group came together. Bert Farrell was a GP, and he brought a few other people along with him and set up the hospice. And we were the first hospice in the country to offer a 7-day service that charges nobody for it and will turn up within 24 hours if you're needed. So it's an amazing service that's provided. And yes, I suppose there should be more state funding, but I suppose this is the way it is. Yes.
Tonight's a very special night for the Hospice Foundation as well. It's celebrating the 25th anniversary here in the McWilliam Park Hotel.
It is. It's lots about the past and the present. I suppose how far we've come and all the people who got us to where we're at the moment. It is a celebration. Hospice itself, sometimes people don't necessarily see it as it comes with its own tragedy and loss. But it really is a celebration of life and a celebration of where the people have come together to support each other. Yeah, it is a celebration.
We wish you continued success as chairperson.
Thank you very, very much.
A brilliant evening with a fantastic atmosphere and so many supporters of hospice here tonight. We're incredibly grateful to everybody that has made the night happen. And what we would say to all the viewers, especially the people from Mayo Roscommon who are living abroad, get behind Mayo Roscommon Hospice, because every single penny that's fundraised for us goes directly into the building of our hospice or into the provision of palliative care to people throughout both counties. You want to hospice.ie and you can buy a brick and be named on the virtual wall in our hospice, or sign up for a monthly direct debit. Everything goes back into your service. This is a service by the people of both counties to the people of both counties. But it's been a fantastic night. It's been a great nice celebration of the past, and we're now on the cusp of a new era of Mayo Roscommon Hospice, and we're looking forward to the next 25 years. And I suppose it's important to say, given the nature of what we do, we really want to remember everybody that has gone through the service. All the patients and all the families, all 15,000 people. And every decision we make and everything we do as a foundation has them there at the forefront of it.
Well, it's almost time for us to go. Before we do, I'd just like to congratulate Martina Jennings and everybody involved with Mayo Roscommon Hospice. They do fantastic work. And if you can help out in any way, particularly with a financial donation, it would be greatly appreciated. The details are below on the screen here. Don't forget, coming up after the break, we're crossing over to Manchester to join Martin Logan, who's out and about once again with the Irish community right across the UK. And I look forward to the company next week at the same time. I want to leave you with some great music this evening. Special guest artist here at the Gala Ball is none other than world famous accordion player Liam O'Connor from County Kerry. So until next week, it's all the forward.